I'm excited. I'm really excited. Oh my god, I cannot explain how excited I am. This is a selection of Steins Gate. Oh. Alright. I just booted up the game, so I don't know what's happening. Oh my god, that's the title screen introduction? That's the title screen introduction? Holy crap! Alright. That was cool. That was really cool. Hello everybody! This is Michael McHale, they call me, and welcome to Steins Gate 0, the sequel to the original Steins Gate game. Now, before I begin actually, I should go ahead and state that this channel has had a long history with this installment of the Steins Gate franchise. If you were here in 2018, you would understand what I mean.
Where?
And before I begin this game, I might have to say that I don't know whether or not I can take this game fully seriously. Like, I'm gonna try to take it as seriously as I can, but because of certain things that has happened within the history of this channel and this installment of the Steins Gate franchise, I don't know exactly if I can keep a straight face in some scenes. Like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna be fully honest here, I don't know if I can take this game fully seriously due to the history I've had with this part of the franchise. But anyways, this is gonna be my first time actually playing the Steins Gate 0 game. Like, I've watched the anime and I read a bunch about it on Wikipedia to make videos in the past about it, but I've never actually played the visual novel myself, so without further ado, let's just get started. Alright, here we go. Oh. And this is... I like how the game begins with just showing why Steins Gate 0 exists. Like, this is the main reason why this entire game happened. Because the possibility of Okabe giving up. 2010, August 8th. August 8th? No, August 21st. Damn it. The hatch opened. Bright light flooded my eyes. Where was I? My eyes narrowed. I could barely make out the summer's twilight sky. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. But someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out. They definitely have refined the art in this game from the first game. Like, the first game's art was really awesome. They just refined it for the sequel. From the first look, I could already tell they definitely already refined the art really well. Okabe? I didn't have the energy to respond to my own nickname. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around myself. Okabe! Mary ran to me and looked down, her face worried. But her kindness felt like nothing but a nuisance. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
Okarin-chan, どうしたん?
父さん、タオルと水、あと服も今すぐ手に入れてきて。
どういうことか説明プリーズ。
いいから早く。
わかったお。
Daru ran to the door elevator that led back inside the building.
オカリン大丈夫？しっかりして死なないで。大丈夫、怪我してるわけじゃないよ。
Stop it. Just get away from me. Leave me alone. I couldn't save her. In fact, I killed her myself. Right here. 3 weeks ago. I killed her. I'm a murderer.
無駄だったんだ。何をやっても無駄だ。全部決まってしまっていることなんだよ。同じだ。マユリの時と同じなんだ。どれだけもがいたって結果は同じになる。
No matter how many times I try, it will all converge back to the same result. The process doesn't matter. Whether you time travel or time meet, you can't go back and change the results of the past. I thought I understood that cruel truth. But now, I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way.
無駄だよ。無駄なんだ。何もかも無駄なんだよ。俺はやっぱりクリスを助けられないんだ。分かってた。分かってたんだ。こうなるって予想してたんだ。もう疲れた。ずっと休んでないんだ。だからもういいよ。
オカリン、一体何が。
And this is when the Zero timeline begins. I believe this is the Alpha world line? Crap, I forgot. Is this Alpha or Beta? I think this is Alpha. Or is it Omega? God damn it, I forgot how the Steins game timelines worked. Maybe I should know this. Like, I've been playing this game for several, like, almost a year. Like, I played the first game for almost a year straight. And I forgot which timeline was what again. Sorry. I'm just going to call this the Zero line right here.
俺が殺してしまった。バカみたいだ。全部俺のせいだ。
マキセ・クリスをさ、刺し殺しちゃったんだ。殺した？嘘、そんな。でも安心して、まだもう一回分タイムトラベルはできる。
ほっといてくれ。俺のことなんか何度やったって結果は同じだ。
何言ってんの？諦めるつもり？オカリンおじさんの肩には何十億っていう人の命がかかってるんだよ。たった一回の失敗が何だって言うんだ。
クリスはどうやったって助けられない。世界線の収束には逆らえない。
What is a world line? Alright. Oh no, I forgot how. Oh no, how do the buttons work in this game? I probably should have checked that. Or I could just, do right click and then go to tips each time. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead of button pressing. Like, instead of button pressing, I'll just click right click and go to tips. Alright. World line. Achievement unlocked. Métis, studying that which lies beneath. Is that... Oh, I pronounce it as Métis, not Metis. I can pronounce it either way. World line. This term refers to an infinite number of possible worlds. However, these worlds do not exist in parallel. Only one exists at a given time. Everything that occurs along a world line, from the past to the future, has been predetermined. Thus, no matter how much you change the past along a single world line, the result will converge to the same outcome. Alright, and back to the game. That's the reality of this world. I learned that a long time ago.
こうなったらビンタしてでも気合い入れ直して。ダメだよ、無理強いするのは良くないよ。こんなボロボロになってるオカリン見てられないもん。でもさ、このままじゃ未来を変えられない。どうして未来のことをオカリン一人に押し付けるの？そんなの重すぎるよ。オカリンおじさんには世界の観測者としての能力があるからだよ。オカリンが望んだわけじゃないのに。それにもう一度やったってまたオカリンが傷つくだけだって思うな。未来のことを人一人で変えようなんてきっと無理なんだよ。だからそのためのシュタインズゲートで、気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、私も未来をかけてここまで来てるんだよね。どっちにしろ2036年には戻れないんだ。そう簡単に諦めるつもりはないから。オカリンおじさん、一つだけ忠告しとく。このタイムマシンに残されてる燃料は有限なの。さっきは往復2回分しか残ってないって言ったけど、実はまだそれなりに余裕はある。それでも移動できる時間はおよそ344日分。片道のタイムトラベルだとしても今から1年と経たないうちに7月28日には届かなくなる。覚えといて。その日になったらさ、私はたとえ一人でも飛ぶよ。
Someone was saying something to me, but I couldn't understand the words. I didn't want to listen to anything. I just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go.
オカリン？オカリン。ねえ、オカリン。もう頑張らなくてもいいからね。泣いてもいいんだよ、オカリン。マユシーはそばにいるからね、オカリン。
I don't know if Mayuri's words were the reason why, but the tears started to flow. I decided to forget everything. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the Future Gadget Lab. Oh! Future Gadget Lab is a tip. Intriguing. Alright. Category Junibayao. Future Gadget Laboratory. Fictional. A lab in name only. It is actually a group of students who make strange inventions. Its founder, Rentaro Okabe, described it as a place where he can further his ambitions to overthrow the ruling structure of the world. To get there, head down Center Street from Akihabara Station. Then, when you get to Suhiro Cho's intersection, take a left at Kurumaebashi Street. Then head into the alleyway just in front of the next light, and you'll find an old multi-purpose building called Obiyama Building. It's on the second floor. Ah. We're learning a little bit more about how to actually get to the Future Gadget Laboratory, for which I believe you could actually go to the place that inspired the Future Gadget Laboratory if I'm correct. If I'm correct, there's actually a legit place where you could actually see the place where the Future Gadget Laboratory would be in real life. Maybe. Or that was just maybe a PR thing, or I got tricked online. There's actually like a huge thing online where you could take the Steins tour in Akihabara through Google Maps. I have it saved somewhere on my phone, and I'll post a link to that in the description down below. Like, it's amazing. And if you ever find yourself in Akihabara, I would definitely recommend trying that out, because I'm gonna be doing that at some point. Like, when I visit Japan in the future, like, at some point in the future, hopefully the next 5 years, I might do the Steins Akihabara tour. For the hell of it. Like, I'll do it for the hell of it, because that sounds awesome. Like, that definitely sounds awesome. Go to all the places that Steins took place in. Like, I would definitely do that. So hopefully I can get to, Akihabara at some point in the next 5 years. Achievement unlocked. Open the new gate. Absolute 0. Oh, here we go. Are we gonna get the opening? Oh no. 2010, November 23rd. UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara, was located right in front of the station. In the hall on the first floor, preparations had been going on all morning for the ATF Akihabara Techno Forum convention. Universities and labs from both inside and outside the country would work together to put on special seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denki University, was participating as part of its industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports to their instructors. Tokyo Denki University. First founded as the Denki School in 1907, in 1949 it became a college in Kanda, Tokyo. Denki University trains engineers and scientists to promote the healthy environment of scientific technology. It was founded around the principle of practical study above all else. Its educational and research motto is, "Technology is people." Because of the school's location, it was deeply involved in the development of Akihabara. Alright. Tokyo Denki University. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Izaki. I had just gotten a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check off the names of students who were coming to the lectures. There was still some time before the seminar started, so the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me who never could have imagined doing something like this, but impressing Izaki was part of my new goal in life. Victor Conjuga University. Yes, that was my new goal. Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them, and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up with was being his assistant. Also, his convention was holding another seminar by Victor Conjuga University after the one held this summer. Of course, that interested me too. Summer. Oh. An image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. Wait, is this my new phone? Wait, I want to see my new phone. Oh, that's cool! Oh, that's so cool! Oh my god, that's so cool. Alright, new game, new ringtone. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a ringtone. No, this. Yeah, this. This is our ringtone. Alright, that's our ringtone. Let's see wallpaper. Oh, wait, I want to see the wallpapers. Oompa, Garo Froggy, Garo Froggy, Garo Froggy, Garo. Okay, I'm doing, that's our phone. That's our wallpaper now. Wait, let's see it. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome. Alright, I like this. I like this. Why does this give me an Evangelion vibe? Alright, let's get back to the game. An image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. I was trying to get to Victor Conjura so that I could learn about the work that Kurisu Makase had been doing. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'd ever be able to do exactly what she did. But if I could do even 10% of it... Honestly, I'm amazed that I've recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckled, just as a voice called to me from across the lobby.
ちょっと、そこの方?
Huh?
I looked up and saw a young girl approaching from the elevator hall. Maho! She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could kind of make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty. So at least she wasn't in elementary school. But maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled, and it flowed down her back. Even I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable.
ごめんなさい。スタッフルームってどこかしら?
She looks twice as smug in the visual novel than she did in the anime. I can say that now.
ここは ATF のセミナー会場だけど。
Clearly not a place where a middle school girl belonged. She'd probably just come to the wrong place.
そんなの分かっているわ。何度同じ話を繰り返せば気が済むの？
いや、今初めて行ったんだけど。
私にとってはあなたで4回目よ。この場所に来てからね。
Aww. Irritated, she pulled a card out of her jacket. It was one of the IDs given out to invited guests. Her name and the name of her workplace were written on the front.
Huh?
Akihabara Techno-formed guest. Victor Conjura University, USA. Brain Science Institute. Maho Hiyajo. Victor Conjura University, USA. Brain Science Institute. Oh. I think I misread that. I'm sorry.
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所
Brain Science. What does brain science mean? Brain science. The field of study that researches animal brains. Also called neuroscience. It investigates the brain from a number of perspectives, including biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering. Brain science. I looked at the card, and then at her, then back at the card, then I looked at her again. I finally realized.
あ、そういうことか。そのカード、どこに落ちてたんだ？拾ってくれたん？
その話も4回目よ。
She sighed and showed me another card. This sprite has so much energy. This one was a photo ID from Victor Conjura University.
え？
It was the same ID I seen Kursu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card. Yeah, that was definitely her.
Hiyajo Maho って読むの。私の名前、Hiyajo Maho。漢字でもローマ字でも誰も読めた試しがないから先に言っとくわ。
ビクトル・コンドリア大学の中学生？
寝ぼけるなら夜にして。大学に中学生がいるわけないでしょ。
それもそうだな。じゃあ飛び級か。
Unlike in Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kursu had made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab?
一つ確認していいかしら。あなた今、少なからず衝撃を受けてるわよね。こんな小さい子が信じられないかしら。それともこの年齢ですごいの方。
She got me.
ここをよく見なさい。
The girl, Maho Hiyajo, pointed to part of the ID with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989, and it was 2010, so...
21歳。
つまり立派な成人女性よ。中学生じゃないの。もちろん小学生でも幼稚園児でも。
And then, she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see, but I could imagine her saying, "They look better when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge."
何かしらその顔は。
いや、悪かった。謝る。
I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. If Dar was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, "Legal lolly for the win!" God damn it. What does legal lolly for the win mean? Oh, damn it. I have to look at both. For the win, category internet, net slang, used to express excitement about a positive event or experience. Abbreviated FTW, and legal lolly. Refers to a character in anime or manga who appears to be no older than an elementary schooler, but in fact, over the legal age of 20. Category otaku. And back to Maho, after reading the tip, legal lolly, and for the win.
まあいいわ。世界中どこへ行っても同じ目に遭ってるから。
そうだろうな。
何か言った？
いや、別に。
Still, the Brain Science Institute? That's where Kursu worked. Which means this person might know a lot about Kursu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Conjure's lecture was the last one for the day, and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Maho Hiyajo girl going to give a lecture? Just like Kursu had done at the summer convention. No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Kursu Makase never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha World line. Okay, I messed up the timeline. So, is this the Omega line then? I think this might be the Omega or Beta. It's either Omega or Beta. Because Alpha was the timeline with CERN. Alright. Yeah, I mixed up the timelines, I'm sorry. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she'd already...
君が今日登壇を？
いいえ、私は助手として来たの。あと通訳も兼ねてね。
I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecture. I can do this. I can play this game. I can do this. I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. Damn it. I promised myself before recording that I wouldn't begin laughing as soon as I saw his name. I promised myself that and I already broke that. Alexis Leskinen. For context, please check out the Leskinen playlist on my channel for context as to why I'm freaking out right now. A professor at Victor Conjura University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute.
テーマは人工知能革命か。面白そうだな。
時間があったらぜひ聞いてみてほしいわね。
そうするよ。あ、スタッフルームだったよな。
I led Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was.
ありがとう。
I had no reason to hang around her any further. I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. Oh? Oh! Mahoka, Kiryu! It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down. This is the Beta World Line. Okay, we're in Beta, not Omega. Okay, this is the Beta World Line. Neri is alive. Mahoka's not going to kill her. I'm gonna say this now. I'm really liking Mahoka's design in Zero. I'm really liking her design. Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned toward Maho.
ああ、雑誌社の方でしたよね。お約束通り主催を。
Even in this world line, Mahoka still only spoke in faint whispers.
レスキネン教授はまだなんです。少しお待たせしてしまいますけど。
Of course he's late. Of course he's late.
それまで私でよければシステムの概要でもお願いします。
The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working.
桐生萌か。もしかしてまたお前なのか。
It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. That night, when the terrorist threat shut down all the trains in Akihabara. That awful night, when I just knew something was going to happen.
ここでもまたお前が。
Or was I just imagining things? Was she just a magazine reporter now, instead of a CERN rounder? Alright, let's see what CERN is! Oh, well, before CERN, rounder, other, rounder, fictional. An unofficial group that works for CERN. It is, in theory, an independent group that does technology research. Rounders are deployed all over the world, and their exact numbers are unknown. Their real objective is to recover the IBM 5100s, the only machines capable of hacking CERN's hidden database, as well as crushing any attempts at time machine research around the world and taking the scientists back to work for CERN. They are, in essence, mercenaries who are capable of using force if necessary. Some of the members on the bottom rung do their work without ever meeting another rounder face to face. CERN. Science. Fictional. The European Laboratory for Nuclear Research, CERN. However, it's not an acronym for this group. It comes from the French Société Européenne de Recherche Nucléaire. I'm gonna try that again. No, that's not how you pronounce that. Société Européenne de Recherche Nucléaire. I'm sorry to my French viewers. If you would like to, help me pronounce things in French, please, write hints, and not hints, just put comments down below, tell me how to pronounce things in French, because I really just fucked up right there. I know I fucked up. European Society for Nuclear Research. Its predecessor group. The lab consists of the world's largest particle accelerator on the outskirts of Geneva, Switzerland. It crosses the border between France and Switzerland. And there is a bank, library, post office, and living quarters located on the grounds. Research teams from all over the world, but particularly the 19 countries of Europe, gather here to perform experiments in elementary particle physics. Several thousand people work at CERN. And in real life, CERN is called CERN. C-E-R-N. What does C-E-R-N, stand for? C-E-R-N. Alright, C-E-R-N, CERN. Okay, CERN. What does it stand for? Council Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire. Which is... the European Organization for Nuclear Research. And that is CERN. No. Even if Mocha was a rounder, we had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I'd bought ahead of time. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk chairs. I got mail. Who did I get mail from? How do I check my mail? Wait, how do I check my mail? How do I check my mail? Oh, that's how you do it. Toot-toot! Ocarine, are things going okay with Mr. Seminar? Yeah, no problem. There was a little accident. I'm not sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, let's be honest with Mary and say there was a little accident. Alright, let's see. Achievement unlocked. Resonating reaction when var. Oh. Wait, did I just do something that, was a decision-making point of the game? Did I move my way? Am I playing in a direction of an ending, by being honest? I don't know. Would they actually have ending stuff this early on in the game? Intriguing. Huh? Did something happen? I almost ran into somebody I really would rather avoid. Oh, wait. Oh, we're actually seeing the next conversation. Alright. You okay? If you're having a hard time, I think it would be okay to leave halfway through. I can't do that. I'm alright for now. Thanks. god, that's amazing. So the text conversations are like more elaborate in this game. Oh my god, that's awesome. That is awesome. Alright. Wow. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendees. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar, Nakabachi Theory, the paper he announced in Russia. That paper held the key to creating a real-life time machine. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that. I flipped through the pamphlet. It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for an interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi Theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. So, Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. All the glory, fame, and power he'd wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter, he didn't get any of it. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting VIP treatment. For a short time, there were essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious it had all gone to his head. The ironic thing was that Nakabachi Theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. The Russian government was worried about it leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. SVR. What is the SVR? SVR, category Other. The Service of the External Reconnaissance of the Russian Federation, aka SVR. Russia's External Intelligence Agency. Its HQ is in Yazinovo in southern Moscow. After the old Soviet Committee for State Security, KGB, was disbanded, the new SVR was modeled after the KGB's first directorate. There are other intelligence agencies in Russia as well, such as the Main Intelligence Directorate, GRU, and the Federal Security Service, FSB. Each of them has their own territory and specialization. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. The time traveler from 2036, John Titor, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. John Titor. Alright, what's John Titor? John Titor, category Other. In November 2000, a man appeared on an American message board claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. This became an internet phenomenon that inspired a storm of questions and debate. The man called himself John Titor and published partial pictures of the manual for his time machine, as well as an explanation for how it operated. He also made clear what would happen in the near future, how interfering with the timeline worked, and the principles behind the multiverse and parallel worlds, as well as timelines and world lines. And then, 4 months after his appearance, he left a final message saying that he'd completed his mission and would be returning to his world. Then, he vanished for good. And speaking of time traveler John Titor, I actually have a book on him. Yeah, I actually have a John Titor book in my house right now, which I like to showcase right here, right now, because I just find John Titor's story, like the real-life story of John Titor, to be very interesting. So, I definitely recommend reading Conviction of a Time Traveler, which is basically like one of the first books talking about John Titor, the self-proclaimed American time traveler from the year 2036 who went on message boards back in 2000. Sadly, I don't know if this is a book about Suzuha or not. I don't think it's a book about Suzuha. But anyways, this is an interesting read to read the true story behind John Titor in our world, because John Titor is not a fictional entity for Steins Gate only. No, John Titor was actually a real-life thing that, happened on the internet. So I definitely recommend checking out this book. I might put some links down in the, description below so that you can buy and check out this book for yourself. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you want to read more about the real John Titor, read Conviction of a Time Traveler. Great book written by Amadeus, so maybe John Titor himself wrote this. Alright, let's get back to the game. Enough, sponsoring books that I'm not sponsored by. Was World War III really going to happen? There was no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kicked in. I closed my eyes. Several hours later, the convention was going well. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Conjura lecture. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Maho Hiyajo coming from the staff room. There is the man himself! Fucking Leskinen! Oh, man. Ah, there he is. There is my man Leskinen. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that a Leskinen? It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kursu, or at least descended from one. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the looks on their faces were so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word Maxe? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have gone to an English school. The two of them walked into the waiting room for lecturers. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together the few fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kursu's house. Miss Maxe is alright. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. FBI? Ooh, what is the FBI? The people who are probably watching me right now thinking, alright, he better say good stuff about us or we're gonna raid his house. You see, for these recordings, I actually have to turn on my laptop webcam. Like, the actual webcam on my laptop is on right now so that I can sync my camera footage and audio with the game footage. So I have to keep my webcam on because I'm doing like a very guerrilla style let's play making style. Like, this is very guerrilla the way I do videos, and I might make a video about how I make videos in the future, but my webcam for my laptop's on, so I know for a fact that my friendly FBI agent is watching me right now. And FBI agent, thank you for watching me for all these years, because you're my biggest fan, FBI agent. You are my biggest fan, and I appreciate you. I wish I could meet you and hug you one day, but that might compromise your mission to take me down. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, an American police organization. It is attached to the Department of Justice and handles crimes that occur on American soil. There are approximately 30,000 people who work for the FBI. when crimes take place involving a wide area of multiple states, the FBI investigates under federal law. FBI. I think that's what they were saying? Curse's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like a robbery, and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there, and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who want to learn more about cutting-edge technology. Victor Condria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently, and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any empty seats? I found a single open seat at the edge. Wait, didn't you just say that? Were there any empty seats? I found a single open seat at the edge. I felt like I read that line twice for some reason. Maybe I did, and I wasn't paying attention. But when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. You again? Mocha Kiryu was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I'd once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinen reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. There was a huge wave of applause. But when they saw the tiny little girl come up next to him, the applause faded into confused murmurs. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret.
Thank you for attending.
皆さん、本日は私のセミナーに集まってくださって感謝します。
I am Alexis Leskinen
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所のアレクシス・レスキネンです。専門は脳信号処理システムおよび人工知能理論になります。
It's weird hearing both English and Japanese at the same time. I don't know, this is just very weird because English is my first language and I'm learning Japanese right now, so I don't know, like, I think this is really cool that they're doing this, but at the same time, I don't know, like, it's really weird.
そして私は助手のヒヤジョ真帆です。同じく脳科学研究所で教授の指導に沿って研究をしています。よろしく。
The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen. Yeah.
Now, without further ado,
では早速ですが、私たちの最先端研究の一端をご紹介します。
I'm not gonna comment on the English. It's not bad, but definitely, not everything's being said.
I know today's theme is
テーマは人工知能革命としましたが、これからデモンストレーションするシステムはおそらく皆さんの想像を超えたものではないかと思っています。
It's slanted English, but not bad English. Like, it's definitely like it's actually really good English. Like, I'm gonna say this now, but definitely it does not sound natural. Artificial intelligence. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. Category science. Often shortened to AI, there have been many different definitions for this word since its creation. For example, some use it to refer to control systems with self-directed learning capability, while others use it to refer to programs whose thought routines mirror a human's. Artificial intelligence, AI. Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type.
This terminal here is connected to
このパ
one
ソコ
of
ン
the
ですが
supercomputers
研究所のスーパーコンピューターの一つと接続されています。ああ、まだプロジェクターには映さないで。
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up, because Maho Hiyajo stopped them.
Sorry, this is all
す
still
み
in
ません、
development.
まだ開
We
発途
haven't
中なん
had
です。
time to develop much of UI
非
yet.
常に美的センスのないプログラムが画面いっぱいに溢れ返っています。
Honestly, I'm
こ
a
んな
little
チープな
impressed
プログラ
by
ムを
all
見ら
this
れるのは
computer
恥ずか
data.
しい。
I almost feel like
裸を
I'm
見られるより
naked
も
here.
ね。
Well, began stripping, my man!
Any engineers out there?
この中にエンジニアの方がいるなら理解していただけますよね。
Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
Anyway, while this finishes
起
spinning,
動するまでの
I'll
間、
give you a quick
この
overview
シス
of
テ
our
ム全
system.
体の概略を説明しましょう。
There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on the screen. And at the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. I'm gonna reread that line. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. Alright. Neural pulse and temporal lobe. Nerve pulse. An electrical signal that travels through a human's nerve cells. It's used to quickly spread information between cells. Temporal cortex. A part of the cerebrum located at the side of the brain. It controls memory, judgment, emotional restraint, hearing, and more. It's also used for accessing the hippocampus, which is on the edge of the cerebrum. Cerebrum? Am I pronouncing that right? I took an anatomy class and I never knew if I pronounced it right. I don't know if I'm gonna check how you pronounce that because I don't think I pronounced that right. And I fucking have taken several anatomy classes. And I should know what this means, but I don't. I mean, no. I know what it means. That's not what I meant to say. God damn it. I meant to say I don't know how it's pronounced. How do you actually fully pronounce it? Because I said cerebrum so many times, but okay. Cerebrum. It's cerebrum, not cerebrum. I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science. She had completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. And she had used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. Though, none of that had actually happened anymore.
We've actually been featured in a
サイエンス誌に掲載されたので、
Some of you
ご存知の
may
方
already
もい
be
るでしょう。
familiar with the project. It was proposed by a very talented
これは
Japanese member of our
私
team.
たちのチームにいた天才的な日本人研究者によって提唱され完成されたものです。
Human memories are stored in
人間の記憶は
several cortex,
大
particularly
脳
in
皮質
the temporal lobe,
とりわ
a
け
little like flash
側
memory.
頭葉に記録されます。いわゆるフラッシュメモリみたいなもの。
Cerebral cortex. What is the cerebral cortex? Cerebral cortex. The gray-colored external layer of the human brain. It is only a few millimeters thick, but consists of over 10 billion neurons and countless layers. the central core governing sensation, movement, and mental activity. Different parts handle different functions. Cerebral cortex. And I've actually held one before. A goat one though, not a human one. I've held a goat cerebral cortex before.
The part of the temporal lobe
そのメモリに記憶を書き込んだり読み出したりするのが側頭葉にある海馬傍回という部位になります。
Hippocampal gyrus. What is hippocampal gyrus? Hippocampal gyrus. The hippocampal gyrus is found on the outside edge of the hippocampus. It is the part of the brain that controls memories and spatial recognition. It is responsible for spatial processing, as well as the sensation of being familiar with a situation or place. It plays an important role in memory encoding and retrieval. Hippocampal gyrus. Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen.
The brain works by transmitting
脳は
electrical signals
ニュ
between
ーロンと呼ばれる細胞の間を電気信号が伝わっていくことで働いています。
Neurons. What is a neuron? Alright, nope, not configuration. Nope, oops, not configuration. No, I meant to go to the tips. Neuron. Also referred to as nerve cells. Cells specialized for information processing. Electrical pulses flow through these cells to share various types of information, making them a form of transmission mechanism. That's what I meant to say. Oops, sorry.
What we call memories are
記
just
憶
those
というのも
electrical signals
実
and
は
they are
こう
controlled
い
by
った
the
電気信号の伝わりの一つなのです。その働きを制御しているのが海馬傍回と言ってもいいでしょう。
In other words,
つまり
electrical signals passing
電
through
気
the
信号が
parental
海馬
nervous
傍回を
is
出
what
入り
forms
す
memories.
ることで記憶は作られていくんですね。
That was a foundation for
そこで
Chris Marquez.
マキセ・クリスはこの論文を書いた日本人研究者です。
And excuse me, I mean, Mizu Makise, one of our
マキ
research
セ研
assistants.
究員は考えました。
You see here, electrical signals, signal patterns. They are
海馬
several
傍
copies.
回を通る電気信号が電気信号のパター
Oh
ンと
no.
大脳皮質の
Oh no, Maho. Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. I'd once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Or maybe, was she having trouble because Kursu's name came up? Dr. Leskinen saw she was having trouble and cut himself off.
すみません。
Mizu Makise focus on the patterns
マキセ
entering
研
and
究員は
exiting the parietal
海
nerves.
馬傍回を出入りする電気信号のパターンに着目しました。
By analyzing those patterns,
そのパタ
she was
ーン
able
が
to gather data from
大
the
脳
memories
皮
in the
質
cerebral
の
cortex.
どの記
They
憶と
corresponded
対
to
応しているのか解析を行って完全なデータを得たのです。
This data allows her to
これ
take
に
the
よって
analog memory signal
記憶と
and
いう曖昧で
convert
ア
them
ナロ
into
グ
a
なも
digital
のを
combination of
電気信号のパターンの組み合わせというデジタルなものに変換する基礎理論が確立されたのです。
Mizu Makise published her
これ
research
が
in several journals.
サイエンス誌に掲載された彼女の論文です。
I'm gonna have to give a congrats to Maho right now because she's doing a great job in just, translating what Leskinen's saying into Japanese. And the stuff that Leskinen's saying are not common words. Like, all the things that Leskinen's saying are very complicated and, scientific terms that Maho has to translate into Japanese from English. So I'm giving her applause ahead of time. This is I'm applauding a fictional character. Shut up. While also having to deal with, the sadness she feels because Makise Kursu, the person who actually, got up with most of these ideas, cannot be there with them at the moment, which, I have to admit, that's probably the part that's hitting her the most. Just the whole thing of, Kursu not being there.
And now, based on her theory,
そして現
our
在
team has developed a
私
system
た
for
ちの
storing
チーム
human
は
memories as
そ
digital
の
data.
理論をもとに人間の記憶をデジタルデータとして取得するシステムを開発しています。
A wave of whispers swept across the theater.
In other words,
それはすなわち
this system allows human memories
人
to
間
be
の記
stored
憶を
and
コ
accessed
ンピューターに
on
保
computers.
存し、それを活用するシステムということになります。
The whispers turned into a low roar. I see. So even after her death, Kurtz's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. That was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else in the Alpha World mind. My memories had been turned into data and stored on a computer. There's no doubt about that. And what Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
At present, we are
現在
attempting to apply this
私た
research
ちが
to
行
two
っている
major
プロジェクト
projects.
は
The first is
主に
mental
2つ
treatment.
です。1つは医療分野への応用です。
The slide on the projector changed.
For this application, we've
こ
been
ちらは
cooperating with the
精神生理学研究所と
Institute.
共同で行っているプロジェクトです。
By passing data from a computer
コンピューターに保存した記憶データを解剖崩壊を通して再び元の脳に書き戻すというもので、
Incredible!
Someone who looked like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued her interpretation.
You don't believe it? I know how you
信
feel.
じがた
I'd
い
be thinking
で
the
すか。
same thing if I were you.
その気持ちは理解できます。私も皆さんの立場であればそう言ったでしょ
But let me just ask you.
う。しかし
Can you
こ
imagine
の
the
研究に
incredible
私たちは
application
手
of
応
this
えを感じて
technology?
います。これが実用化できればどんなに素晴らしいことでしょう。
We could treat memory loss in
例え
the
ば
elderly or
老化による記憶障害
that currently have
あ
no
と
cure.
はアルツハイマーなどそうしたものへの対処療法が期待できます。
Symptomatic therapy. What is symptomatic therapy? Treatment intended not to cure the cause of a disease, but to alleviate its symptoms and relieve pain. Painkillers and fever reducers are examples of symptomatic therapy. Symptomatic therapy. Symptomatic. There we go. Alright, let's get back to the game.
Anyone's memories could be
患者の記憶をデータとして
as
自
digital
動
data.
的にバックアップしていくのです。
Even if a memory is
記
lost,
憶が失われたとして
every
も
time it's possible to
その都度
access
PC に
a
アクセスし
and reinstall data in
脳
the
内に
brain.
データを再インストールすることが可能です。
We could halt the progress of
それ
senility
によっ
and
て
dementia.
忘却の進行を食い止められるのではないか。私たちはそう考えています。
Eventually, it would be
最
possible
終
to
的には
directly and continuously
解剖崩
access
壊か
data
ら
stored on
PC
the
内の
computer
記憶
to
データ
the
に
target
常時アクセ
computers.
スできるようになるでしょう。
So if the brain were to lose
そうすれ
significant
ば
functionality,
脳機
say
能が
brain
失われた
damage
状
or
態、
atrophy,
例えば脳が激しく損傷したり萎縮してしまった場合などですが、
the system would essentially
そのような状態でも
whatever part of the
変わら
brain
ず
was
脳
failing.
機能を維持できます。
Think of it like an
あた
external
か
hard
も
drive.
外部ストレージと同じように。
External storage. What does external storage mean? External storage, category other. A data storage unit that can be detached from a computer or a cell phone, or other electronic device. Some examples include hard drives and flash memory. External hard drive. Well, external storage. This is an external hard drive, which is a part of external storage. A strange feeling gripped the hall. Part of it was shock and the feeling that they were witnessing the announcement of an incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could never actually work. Part of it was revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. and excitement born of all these things passed from one member of the crowd to another. Dr. Leskinen raised his hand to encourage questioners. I've seen that sprite so many times. Dr. Leskinen raised his hand to encourage questioners.
I'm seeing some of you have questions.
どうやら2つ目のプロジェクトをお話しする前に質問を受け付けないといけないようですね。
I'll answer as many as I can. Go
で
ahead.
きる範囲でお答えします。どうぞ。
Okay, that's adorable. That's adorable. Maho raising her hand like that. Many hands were raised. I could tell that there was a wide age range of people interested. Both young and old were raising their hands. Dr. Leskinen pointed to a questioner. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? Sampling. What is sampling? Sampling. The act of taking data at regular intervals. Sampling. The professor nodded as he listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me lift that.
その質問を言い換えると
You're talking about attempting to
オーケストラの生演奏を WAV のデータに保存する際生演奏の全てを完璧に記録することはできないと
That's certainly a concern.
確かにその懸念はあります。現在の研究で最も困難な問題の一つです。脳内のネットワークが神経伝達物質のオンオフだけでつまり二進数的にデータのやり取りをしているのであれば簡単な問題でした。それはデジタルデータと同じことだからです。しかし実際には伝達物質や電気信号は脳内でアナログ的に変化することが分かっています。この問題に関しては今のところより高いサンプリングレートでデータをサンプルする方法しか手段を持っていません。音楽の話で言えば 44.1kHz よりも 48kHz、 48kHz よりも 96kHz でサンプリングするといった具合です。それによってデジタルでありながらアナログデータに近い情報を得ようとしています。
Little by little, the mood in the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that didn't work in reality. That wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All the questioners were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Leskinen's research, but it was also Curse's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Were these people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Leskinen was very polite with the rude questioners, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting too. I felt a kind of kinship with her. The question and answer session continued.
そもそもこれは医学的に無謀でしょう。デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。ましてや筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては。
That was the one thing I couldn't ignore.
あなたね。
いがれ。
あ
the two people on the stage, and the entire audience all turned toward me at once.
やってみもしないで何がわかるって言うんだ。最初は無理だと思われてた技術なんてこの世にいくらでもあるじゃないか。でもそれを克服した研究者がいたからこそ今があるんだろう。ただ批判するだけじゃ何も生まれない。
The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
あなた。
On the stage, Maho Hiyajo was staring at me in shock. And as for Dr. Leskinen, I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met. The beginning of the love story. God damn it! God damn it, I can't! I fucking can't! I fucking can't! I can't look at him! I can't look at him! Oh man, I'm gonna be like, the last Steins game like took me about, almost 60 episodes to complete. And this is how I'm gonna jump into Steins Gate 0. This is gonna be one long series if this is how I'm gonna jump into Steins Gate 0. Laughing every time fucking Leskinen comes in. I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met.
Awesome. He's wearing something.
He started to applaud. Why was he applauding? That just makes things embarrassing.
素晴らしい。彼はなかなか大したやつだ。ですって。
Maho translated the professor's words for me to hear.
Nonetheless, a scientist must
ただ
always
し、
remain composed.
科学者たるもの常に冷静でなければいけない。
The only time when it is
大声
possible
で
to
怒鳴って
shout
いい
is
のは、
when your
実験
experiment
が
is
成
a
功した
success and you
時
say,
の
We did it!
We did it!
And that should be enough.
それだけで十分。だそうですよ。
すみません。
I lowered my head and sat down. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me. I hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. If Kursu was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurt. If I could have left, I would have wanted to, but I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskinen's talk to move.
And anyway, moving on.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ次に。
Oh, first, a round
で
of
も
applause, please, for
その
our
前
great
に
friend.
勇敢な彼に拍手をお願いします。
Oh no. Please no.
Men like him are what
彼
one
のような
scientific
挑戦
honest
者こそが
and at the
科学
core
を進歩させ
remarkable stories.
あっと驚くような理論を作り上げるのです。
He may even become the third
彼なら
Einstein.
きっと第3のアインシュタインになれるかもしれませんね。
Third Einstein? Would Hawking be the second? Let's see if they say some tips. Einstein. Albert Einstein, 1879, not 1979, 1879 to 1955. A German Jew known as the father of modern physics. He developed many important theories, including the theory of general relativity and theory of special relativity. The winner of the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. Wow. That, I don't know why that was hard to say. Maybe, I don't know. That was kind of hard to say for a second. I'm gonna reread all of Albert Einstein because I messed that up. I messed that up too much. I'm rereading that. Einstein. Category Science. Albert Einstein. 1879 to 1955. God damn it. German Jew known as the father of modern physics. he developed many important theories, including the theory of general relativity and theory of special relativity, winner of the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. Albert Einstein.
The second Einstein, of course,
ちなみに
slightly
第2のアインシュタ
イン。
インはここにいるちょっと小うるさい私の助手。
Aww.
変なこと言うのはやめてください、教授。
Aww. Leskinen, that was cute. The audience chuckled. Sheesh.
さて、ここで私はしばらく通訳をお休みさせていただきます。これから私よりも優秀な通訳が登場します。これが私たちのチームが今最も力を入れている2つ目のプロジェクト。アマデウスシステムです。
When she finished speaking, Maho walked to the back of the stage. At Dr. Leskinen's signal, the PC screen was displayed on the projector. And then, I heard a voice.
皆さん、初めてお目にかかります。
The murmuring got louder than before. But it felt more uncertain than surprise. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who'd just been interpreting.
ちなみにこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらったモデルです。
Drinkworks Studios. Please tell me it's DreamWorks. Oh my god! The studio behind Shrek brings you Amadeus! Please tell me. Drinkworks Studios, an American CG movie production company. Oh, please tell me this is DreamWorks. Okay, they're gonna say the movies, right? They didn't say the movies. Damn it. Okay, this is not canon, but I full-on believe that DreamWorks Studios is DreamWorks. Meaning, the people who made Shrek in this universe helped make the technology and models for the Amadeus. They made the models for Amadeus, the same company that brought us Shrek. Maho Hiyajo chimed in from the back of the stage.
声については私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました。
Yamana. What is Yamana? Yamana, fictional, an instrument maker that was founded in the 19th century. In the 2000s, they began to develop and sell artificial voice software and DTM, desktop music software for PCs. Okay, dare I say that this is... what's the name of the program used to make Vocaloid? Damn it. I can't remember the name of the program. Uteu. Yeah, no, okay. Vocaloid and Uteu. I know there's a lot of debate on, what they are, but I'm just gonna say that they're different entities right now. So, is this like a reference to Uteu? Yamana? Is that a reference to Uteu? Maybe, I don't know. This was CG? It sure looked real to me. The professor said something into the laptop's microphone. And then the 3D model of Maho Hiyajo on the screen opened its mouth.
私はヒヤジョ真帆です。正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒヤジョ真帆から派生した存在ということになります。
If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました。教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかと、とてももどかしく思っていましたよ。以前から感じていましたが、どうも教授は人が悪いようですね。まったくだわ。
The Maho Hiyajo on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression. And the Maho Hiyajo by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskinen simply smiled. What was going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています。人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したり、それを保存したり、さらにはそのデータを活用したり、そんなことが本当に可能なのかと。それでは私は一体何でしょうか。私は78時間23分前のヒヤ城真帆の脳内から取り出された記憶を持ち、そのデータをベースにして動いているのです。
What did she just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho, and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授、今のは。教授、今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか。
Dr. Leskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over half the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですね、私に対して、いえ、私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いました。いつ頃までパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか。
Let's get in!
初恋はいつだったかとか、何でも答えられるだろうと。ああ、もうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ。恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら。私はそういう質問には一切答えないわよ。
The professor said something else, and the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away. I just now noticed this fucking smile. That's the infamous fucking smile that Leskinen does! That's the infamous fucking smile that became the part of the fucking meme! I didn't know it came this early in the game! The fucking smile. The goddamn smile. Oh my god, seeing it in the actual game just makes it even more bizarre to me. Like, this is so bizarre looking at this right now. Because I'm the guy who made a lot of those memes back then. Like, I'm not saying that I, made the meme. No, I did not. I did not make the meme. But I believe I made the most, Leskinen memes out of everyone who's made Leskinen meme videos. Like, I think I've done the most Leskinen related videos when Leskinen memes were like the big meme going on in the anime community. It wasn't even that big of a meme, it was a small meme, but at the same time, in the Steins community, that flooded it by storm. And I was one of the people who was responsible for a large bulk of the videos on YouTube involving Leskinen. In part, if I ruined Steins Gate 0, if the Leskimen memes ruined Steins Gate 0 for anyone, that's all me. That was all me. I ruined Steins Gate 0. 2 years ago, I fucking ruined this series.
クレジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えません。あと、1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです。
What was this? It was so natural, I couldn't tell at first. But this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than a typical AI. I could tell that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given. And because they were embarrassing? Was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions? For the purposes of this demonstration? It was possible that's all it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion as I did. And the whispers started to turn into surprised murmur.
ねえちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
The copy of Maho was complaining to the original. It felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Maho walked back to the professor.
皆さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは話したいことと話したくないことを自ら判断して喋っています。私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
I knew it.
彼女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまうというか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。皆さんと同じようにです。例えば1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。これも皆さんと同じです。このようにアマデウスは記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back. She resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
was that Amadeus
私たちを
intentionally lied.
驚かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
And not as some sort of bug
何らか
or
の
glitch.
トラブルや
This is
ミスでは
purposeful
なく、
behavior.
わざとそうするのです。
Lying is really just
嘘は
another method of human
人間
communication.
が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Amadeus examined the memories
アマデウスも
and has no
インプットされた記憶を自律的に検討し、
if it
必
deemed
要であれば
action necessary.
自分や他人のために平気で嘘をつきます。教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。嘘をつくのに平気なことなんてありません。私だって両親が咎めます。
I'm so sorry, and
Dr. Leskinen cut off. He seemed to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed, and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
this has led us to some
このような
interesting
検
conclusions.
証を続けていくことで、最終的に私たちは
For one, we believe it's possible for
アマデウス
Amadeus
に
to eventually
人
possess
間
a
と
mind.
同様の魂を宿すことができるのではないかと考えています。
I was stunned. A soul? Should one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
In other words, true
これこそ
artificial intelligence.
本当の意味での人工知能ということになります。
The whole hall got very quiet. And it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Leskinen at once. Alright. So this is where I'm gonna be ending this episode right here, right now, before the after party of the lecture. Yes, I wanted to get through the entire lecture this episode because, I knew that there would be no good place to cut off during the middle of the lecture, so I decided to make this episode quite longer. Actually, I might make most Steins Gate 0 episodes, like, almost 2 hours long, because this is a pretty long game, and it's a pretty good game as well, so I might make the episodes quite longer. Like, most of my videos, probably at the moment, are long anyway, so why not make Steins Gate episodes longer as well? I might as well just announce this now, because, as you may have noticed, this is like one of the first Steins Gate videos where I am not wearing the lab coat. Because Hoin Kyoma is dead. And he's not coming back. He's gone for good. Makase Kurisu is dead. And with her died Hoin Kyoma.
Okay, okay.